Have you ever sat on the edge of your bed at night in the quiet, placed your hand on your stomach, and just wondered? You wonder why, after a whole day of trying so hard eating, carefully going for your walk, skipping the dessert, why this stubborn fat around your waist just will not go away. For countless people, especially women over 60, it feels impossible. It feels like you're doing everything right, but your body is no longer on your side. And this isn't just about appearance. It's a deep, frustrating feeling that affects your health, your confidence, and your mobility. It's tied to a higher risk of heart problems, diabetes, and even as studies show, memory decline. Welcome to Healthier Daily. I'm Dr. Ben Carter, and our mission today is to finally give you an answer to that question. Not another strict diet, but a profound shift in understanding. And to guide us through this, we are deeply honored to have our lead expert, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, with us.
Thank you, Ben. This is a very important and very personal subject. That hand on the stomach, that is a moment of deep frustration. My patients tell me they feel betrayed by their own bodies. But the problem is not a lack of willpower. The problem is a lack of understanding. We have been fighting the wrong battle at the wrong time of day. We must stop thinking of our body as a simple machine. It is a brilliant 24-hour factory that operates on two distinct shifts. The day shift is a production crew. It's active, it's loud, it takes in raw materials, your food, it fuels the machinery for walking and thinking, and it deals with the stress of the day. We spend all of our energy, all of our willpower, trying to manage this day shift. But when you go to sleep, the factory does not close. A second silent and far more important crew comes on duty, the night shift. This is the maintenance and inventory crew. Their job is to repair the machinery, to clean the floors, and most critically, to manage the warehouse. They must decide what to do with all the leftover fuel from the day. Do we burn this energy for repairs, or do we lock it away in emergency storage? That stubborn belly fat you feel is not a sign of a lazy day shift. It is a desperate signal that your night shift is failing. Night after night, for reasons we will explore, your crew is making the wrong decision. They are in a panic. They are not burning fat. They are in a state of emergency storage.
That is such a powerful and illuminating way to see it, Doctor. It means the solution isn't to punish the day shift even more with starvation diets. The solution is to support the night shift, and that is our promise to you today. In this masterclass, we will hand you, as the new factory manager, 3 powerful executive directives you can issue to your night shift crew just before they clock in. These directives come in the form of 3 simple, comforting bedtime drinks. They are designed to do one thing: turn your night shift crew from a panicked storage team into an efficient, calm fat burning team. If you are ready to finally stop fighting your body and start supporting your dedicated night shift, please make a commitment to yourself right now. Go to the comments section below and type the words night shift. And while you are there, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Healthier Daily. Your first lesson in managing your new crew begins right now.
Before we, as the new factory managers, can issue our new directives, we must first do what any good leader would do. We must walk the factory floor. A good manager does not simply shout new orders at a failing team. A good manager first understands why the team is failing. And when we walk the floor of our body's factory at night, we don't find a lazy crew. We find a crew that is in a state of total chaos, a crew that is being actively sabotaged. This chaos, this failure to burn fat, is caused by three silent, powerful enemies that have taken over the factory.
That's exactly right. These three saboteurs are running rampant in the bodies of millions of seniors, creating a perfect storm of conditions that forces your body into fat storage mode. They are the blaring emergency alarm, the clogged fuel line, the smoldering fires. Let's break down exactly what these are, because this is the entire key to the problem. First and most powerful is the blaring emergency alarm. In your body, this alarm is the hormone cortisol. Your night shift crew cannot perform its delicate, complex work of balancing hormones and metabolizing fat if the factory's red emergency lights are flashing and a siren is wailing. Emergency, emergency all night long. What triggers this alarm? Chronic stress from the day, financial worries watching the late-night news, and as we will see, even simple dehydration. And when that cortisol alarm is ringing, it sends one loud, non-negotiable command to every cell in your system: shut down all non-essential long-term projects. Hoard all resources. Store fat. Your body believes it is in a survival crisis. In a crisis, fat burning is a luxury it simply cannot afford. It is a non-essential project. Fat storage becomes the number one priority. Second, we have the clogged fuel line. This is the biological reality of insulin resistance. This is perhaps the most critical saboteur of all. Your night shift crew is trying to do its job. It's trying to send fuel, the glucose from your last meal, to your cellular furnaces, like your muscles, to be burned for energy and repair. But the fuel line is hopelessly clogged. The key, which is your hormone insulin, no longer fits the lock on your cell's receptors. So what happens to all that toxic excess sugar fuel that's now stuck in the bloodstream? The body, in a state of panic, does the only thing it can. It calls an emergency plumber to divert that toxic fuel. That fuel gets rerouted directly to the only safe place it can go: your central long-term storage warehouse right around your belly. Your furnaces are starving for energy while your fat warehouse is being force-fed night after night. And this brings us to the third and most devious saboteur, the smoldering fires. This is the vicious cycle of chronic inflammation. That very belly fat you are trying to get rid of. It is not a passive, neutral storage tank. It is an active, angry, leaking warehouse. It has become a metabolic organ of its own, and it is constantly pumping out a toxic inflammatory smoke called cytokines. This smoke fills the entire factory. This toxic smoke makes the alarm's cortisol even more sensitive and prone to go off. It makes the fuel line's insulin resistance even gummier and more clogged. It is a perfect self-perpetuating trap. The fat creates inflammatory smoke, and the smoke commands the body to store more fat.
This is the perfect picture of what was happening to my patient Margaret. She was 71, and she was by all accounts the perfect day shift manager. She was doing everything right. She had cut out most rice and bread. She walked 3 miles a day. She even stopped eating after 5:00 p.m. thinking she was helping. But when she came to me in total frustration, her waistline had not budged. She was exhausted. She looked at me, and I will never forget her words. She asked, "Am I just stuck with this forever, doctor?" Her desperation was real. I explained to her, "Margaret, you are the best day shift manager I have ever met. But your night shift is in total chaos. Your daily stress means your alarms are blaring all night long. Your age and past diet have led to clogged fuel lines, and the existing fat is creating smoldering fires that your body has no tools to put out." Her day shift was heroically trying to empty the warehouse while her panicked night shift was frantically locking the doors, hoarding resources, and adding more to that warehouse night after night, just to survive.
Margaret's story is the story of millions. It is the story of fighting the wrong battle. You cannot win this fight during the day. The war against stubborn belly fat is won or lost in the quiet, supportive hours of the night. So now that we as the new factory managers have clearly identified our 3 saboteurs, it is time to issue our first new executive directive. It is time to finally silence the alarms.
The first directive we issue as the new wise managers of this factory is the most fundamental. Before any repair work can begin, before any inventory management can happen, we must create an environment of safety and calm. Imagine trying to do delicate, intricate work on a complex machine while a piercing emergency alarm is blaring in your ears. It's impossible. Your focus is shattered. Your hands shake. Your only instinct is to protect yourself, not to create something beautiful. This is precisely what your night shift crew experiences when that cortisol alarm is ringing all night long. So, our very first command is simple yet profound: silence the alarms.
And the tool we use for this critical first directive is wonderfully simple: a warm, comforting cup of warm lemon water. Now, this is not about detoxing in the way many internet gurus claim. This is about sending a direct, powerful physiological signal of safety to your stressed-out system. It works in 3 beautiful ways. First, and most importantly, is the hydration. As we established, even mild dehydration is a major red flag for your body's survival systems. It screams drought and triggers that cortisol alarm. By starting your night shift handover with a generous infusion of warm water, you are literally flooding the system with the message: the drought is over. The crisis has passed. It is safe. Your adrenal glands receive this signal loud and clear and begin to dial back their cortisol production. Second is the warmth. Think about the feeling of holding a warm mug in your hands on a cold night. That sensation is not just psychological, it's physiological. Warm liquids gently stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest, digest, and repair branch of your autonomic nervous system. It's like a gentle hand on the shoulder telling your entire body, you can relax now. The day shift is over. It's time to heal. This directly counteracts the fight or flight signals that keep cortisol elevated. Third, there's the lemon itself. While it's not a magic fat burner, the natural compounds in lemon, particularly its polyphenols, have been shown in studies to help improve insulin sensitivity. Remember, insulin resistance is our second saboteur, the clogged fuel line. By gently supporting insulin function, the lemon helps prevent those nighttime blood sugar spikes that also act as a stress signal, further contributing to the overall sense of calm and reducing the need for the cortisol alarm.
This brings me to the story of Teresa. She was 72, and her biggest complaint wasn't just the visible belly fat. It was a constant feeling of internal tension. She described it as feeling heavy and tight in her abdomen every evening, regardless of what she ate. Her body felt like it was constantly bracing itself. Her alarms were stuck in the on position. When she began the simple ritual of sipping a cup of warm lemon water before bed, the first change she noticed wasn't on the scale. It was a feeling. She told me, "Doctor, for the first time in years, my stomach feels peaceful at night." The bloating eased. the tightness softened, and as a direct result, she began sleeping more deeply. The reduction in her waistline, which happened gradually over the next few weeks, was not the goal she was chasing. It was the natural consequence of her body finally receiving the signal that it was safe to let go of its emergency stores. She had silenced the alarms, and the night shift could finally begin its true work.
And preparing this first signal is the easiest part of your new protocol. About 30 minutes before you intend to turn off the lights, simply heat a mug of water. Make sure it's comfortably warm like a nice bath, not boiling hot. Squeeze in the juice of half a fresh lemon. And this is absolutely critical. Do not add any sugar, honey, or other sweeteners. Any form of sugar will send the exact opposite signal we are trying to achieve. It will spike your blood sugar, trigger insulin, and tell your body to store fat, effectively canceling out the benefit. Sip it slowly. Feel the warmth. This is not just a drink. It is your first act as a supportive manager. You are officially telling your factory, the day shift is over. All is well. You are safe. Begin the healing.
The alarms are now silent. The factory floor is calm, but as the night shift crew begins their rounds, they detect another danger, quieter, but perhaps even more insidious. It is the smell of smoke. Somewhere deep within the machinery, there are smoldering fires. These are not raging infernos that trigger the main alarms. These are chronic, low-level fires that fill the factory with a toxic, irritating smoke. This smoke makes the air hard to breathe. It gums up the delicate equipment, and it slowly, silently poisons the entire working environment. And the source of this smoke, it is the very belly fat we are trying to manage. Because that fat is not just sitting there, it is burning in the wrong way.
What Dr. Hinohara calls toxic smoke is the biological reality of chronic low-grade inflammation. And the factory producing this smoke is your visceral fat, that hard, dangerous fat packed around your internal organs. Unlike the softer fat under your skin, visceral fat is metabolically hyperactive. It acts like a rogue endocrine organ, constantly pumping inflammatory chemicals called cytokines into your bloodstream. Think of these cytokines as hot inflammatory sparks being shot out from that malfunctioning fat tissue machine in your midsection. These sparks don't just stay local, they travel throughout your entire system, causing widespread irritation. They make your blood vessels sticky, they interfere with your brain function, they aggravate joint pain, and critically for our purpose today, they create that vicious cycle. The inflammatory spark cytokines signal a state of crisis, which tells your body to store more protective belly fat. And the more belly fat you accumulate, the more sparks it throws off. Fat creates the inflammatory fire, and the fire commands the body to hoard more fat. It is a perfect self-sustaining loop of damage. To break free, you must put out the fires.
So, our second executive directive to the night shift is clear and urgent: equip the fire brigade. We must give our crew the tools they need to extinguish these smoldering fires at their source, clearing the toxic smoke, so the real work of healing and metabolism can finally begin. And nature's most effective time-tested fire extinguisher for this internal blaze is ginger tea.
This isn't folklore, it's targeted biochemistry. Fresh ginger root is packed with powerful bioactive compounds, primarily gingerols and shogaols. Think of these compounds as a highly concentrated industrial-strength firefighting foam. They don't just cool the flames temporarily, they actively interfere with the chemical pathways that produce the cytokine sparks in the first place. They go to the short-circuiting fat machinery and help to calm it down, reducing the amount of inflammatory smoke filling your system. By lowering this systemic inflammation, ginger does two crucial things for your night shift. It frees up your crew's resources. Instead of constantly fighting fires, they can now focus on repair and fat metabolism. It removes the very signal that was telling your body to keep storing fat. Furthermore, ginger acts as a gentle radiator for your internal engine. It promotes healthy circulation and has a mild thermogenic effect, meaning it slightly raises your core body temperature. This gentle internal warmth supports metabolic processes, encouraging your body to burn fuel more efficiently even while you rest.
This connection between inflammation and belly fat makes me think of Linda. She was 68 and came to me for her arthritis pain. Her joints were swollen, stiff, and painful, especially in the mornings. Almost as an aside, she mentioned her frustration with her belly fat, which seemed unrelated to her joint pain. I explained to her that she wasn't fighting two separate enemies. She was fighting one enemy, inflammation, that was manifesting in two different ways: smoke in the joints, pain and swelling, and smoke from the belly fat causing more fat storage. I suggested she add our second directive, ginger tea, to her nightly routine. The results were precisely what we hoped for. Within a month, she reported that not only was her morning joint stiffness significantly reduced, but she felt a noticeable lightness around her middle. Her clothes fit better. By equipping her internal fire brigade, she had simultaneously cooled the inflammation in her joints and removed the barrier that was preventing her night shift from burning fat.
And equipping your own fire brigade is wonderfully simple. Take a piece of fresh ginger about the size of your thumb, around 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters. You don't even need to peel it if you wash it well. Slice it thinly. Place the slices in a mug and pour 1 cup of hot, not boiling water over them. Let it steep for 5 to 10 minutes. You can also simmer the ginger gently on the stove if you prefer a stronger brew. Let it cool to a comfortable warmth, then sip it slowly about 30 minutes before bed. For an added anti-inflammatory boost, you can stir in a small pinch of turmeric, which works synergistically with ginger. But again, crucially, no sugar or honey. Let the natural warmth and spice do their work. A quick note, ginger can have a mild blood-thinning effect, so if you are on blood-thinning medication, please consult your doctor first. Also, if you have a very sensitive stomach, start with a weaker tea, less ginger, or shorter steeping time, and see how your body feels. It's amazing how these simple, natural tools used consistently can have such profound effects. And it's equally amazing to see our community learning and applying these principles together. Please take a moment now to share which state or country you are watching from in the comments below. It truly inspires Dr. Hinohara and me to see this global factory of health growing stronger together.
The factory is now quiet. The alarms are silent. The smoldering fires have been extinguished by our diligent fire brigade. The night shift crew is finally in an environment where they can perform their most important, most specialized task. It is time to address the hazardous waste that has accumulated over years, perhaps decades. It is time to deal with the source of the problem itself, that stubborn, metabolically dangerous visceral fat. It is time to issue the third and perhaps most eagerly awaited executive directive: authorize the furnace. The factory has a powerful built-in incinerator designed specifically for this purpose. Its job is to safely burn away this stored excess fuel, converting it back into clean energy. But for years, in many of our bodies, this furnace has been sitting cold and dormant, locked down by the chaos of the alarms and the fires. Now that the environment is clear, we must send the specific authorization code to bring it back online.
That authorization code is precisely what our third bedtime drink delivers. We are talking about the ancient Ayurvedic remedy known as golden milk, featuring the powerful spice turmeric. This isn't just a comforting beverage. It is a complex biochemical signal designed to address the final barrier to nighttime fat burning, the clogged fuel line of insulin resistance, and to directly command the fat cells to release their stored energy. Remember Saboteur 2? Insulin resistance meant the key insulin couldn't unlock the door to your cells, leaving sugar trapped in the blood, destined to become belly fat. The active compound in turmeric curcumin acts like a master locksmith. It travels to those rusty cell door locks, the insulin receptors, and helps to clean and repair them. Scientific studies have shown repeatedly that curcumin significantly improves insulin sensitivity. This means the key starts working again. Glucose can finally enter the cells to be used as fuel instead of being diverted to fat storage. It clears the fuel line, ensuring that the furnace can receive the energy it needs to run. But curcumin does something even more direct. It acts like the factory manager, sending a specific memo directly to the fat cells themselves. Research suggests that curcumin interacts with pathways that regulate adipogenesis, the creation of new fat cells, and promotes lipolysis, the release of stored fat from existing cells. In essence, it tells the fat cells, stop hoarding. It's safe now. Release your stored fuel to be burned. Now, just like in our previous directive with ginger turmeric needs help, curcumin is a large, powerful molecule, but it's notoriously difficult for your body to absorb. This is where the magic of the golden milk combination comes in. We need the piperine from a tiny pinch of black pepper. Piperine acts as the essential security escort, grabbing the curcumin molecule and ensuring it gets safely past the gatekeepers in your digestive system and into your bloodstream, increasing its bioavailability by that incredible 2,000%. And finally, why is it traditionally prepared in warm milk or a plant-based alternative like almond or coconut milk? The healthy fats in the milk aid the absorption of the fat-soluble curcumin. More importantly, the warmth combined with the natural calming properties further soothes the nervous system, reinforcing Directive 1. Silence the alarms and promoting the deep restorative sleep necessary for the furnace to operate at peak efficiency all night long.
This holistic approach, calming the system, clearing the fuel line, and directly activating the furnace, reminds me of Joan, a 66-year-old grandmother. She felt stuck. Her energy was low, her sleep was inconsistent, and her favorite clothes just didn't fit anymore. She felt disconnected from her own body. She adopted the night shift protocol, rotating the 3 drinks. But she told me that the golden milk nights felt different. She described it as a feeling of deep alignment. It was like my body and I were finally speaking the same language again, she said. I felt like I was giving it permission to let go. And over the course of a month, her body responded to that permission. Her sleep became more sound. She woke feeling more refreshed. And yes, her jeans began to fit more loosely. It wasn't a sudden dramatic weight loss. It was a gentle, steady release, a sign that her internal factory was finally back in balance, working with her, not against her.
Joan's experience is the perfect embodiment of this final directive. You are not forcing your body, you are authorizing its natural process. Preparing it is simple, and the ritual itself can be deeply calming. Gently warm 1 cup of your chosen milk dairy, almond, coconut, oat, unsweetened is best. Again warm it, do not boil it. Stir in 1/2 to 1 full teaspoon of high-quality turmeric powder. Add a small pinch, just a pinch of finely ground black pepper. You can also add a sprinkle of cinnamon for extra flavor and blood sugar support if you like. Stir well and sip this golden liquid slowly about 30 minutes before bed. Absolutely no sugar or honey. If you desire sweetness, use a natural, zero-calorie option like stevia or monk fruit sparingly. Allow the warmth and the gentle spice to signal to your entire system the factory is safe. The fires are out. The furnace is now authorized to burn.
And so, we arrive at the end of our shift, but at the beginning of yours. You now hold the 3 executive directives. You have the tools to silence the alarms, to equip the fire brigade, and to authorize the furnace. You have the knowledge to transform your night shift from a panicked, overwhelmed crew into a calm, efficient, fat-burning team. But knowledge is only the blueprint. The true transformation comes from the daily act of management. For years, perhaps you have been at war with your body, treating it like a lazy worker that must be punished and starved into submission. Today, we invite you to step into a new role, the role of the wise, compassionate factory manager, a manager who does not shout but listens, who does not punish but supports, who understands that the goal is not to force the machine but to restore its natural, harmonious rhythm. Your loyal night shift crew has been waiting for a manager like you.
That shift in perspective from fighter to manager is everything, and it's backed by the practical strategy we discussed. Remember, this is not about adding 3 more complicated tasks to your evening. It is about creating one simple, consistent nightly handover protocol. The key is rotation. You don't need all 3 directives every single night. Listen to your factory. Was today particularly stressful? Perhaps tonight is a warm lemon water night to focus on silencing the alarms. Did you have a heavier meal, or are your joints feeling achy? Tonight might be a ginger tea night to equip the fire brigade. Are you feeling well rested and ready to focus on metabolism? Tonight is perfect to authorize the furnace with golden milk. Create your own weekly rhythm. Maybe it's lemon, ginger, golden milk, repeat. Maybe it's based on how you feel. The what is less important than the that you are consistently sending one of these supportive signals to your night shift crew night after night. Prepare your chosen drink ahead of time. Make it an easy, non-negotiable part of your wind-down routine. This consistent support is the cornerstone of rebuilding your body's natural fat-burning ability. This night shift protocol is your most powerful strategy for reducing harmful visceral adipose tissue. It is the key to improving your nighttime metabolic rate and finally overcoming hormonal weight gain in seniors. By focusing on these nightly steps, you are actively supporting your body's circadian fat-burning rhythm and making a profound investment in your long-term metabolic health. If this masterclass on supporting your body's night shift has given you a new understanding and a practical path forward, please honor our work by giving this video a like, and please share it with a friend or loved one who you know is tired of the frustrating cycle of daytime effort and nighttime failure. And if you haven't yet, this is our warmest invitation to subscribe to Healthier Daily and ring that notification bell. We are here to support you on this journey to working with your body, not against it. Finally, our most important question for you tonight. As the new wise manager of your own factory, reflecting on the 3 saboteurs we discussed, Which problem do you feel is currently causing the most chaos for your night shift crew? The blaring alarms, cortisol, the smoldering fires, inflammation, or the clogged fuel line, insulin resistance? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Understanding your factory's biggest challenge is the first step towards managing it effectively, and your insight might help someone else recognize their own. From all of us at Healthier Daily, thank you for your time.
Be a kind manager, and may your night shift have a peaceful and productive night.